Okay, Black Power, we black again with the general. We got a powerful topic we dealing with. This twilight hour. We talking about Olmecs, Egyptians, and Ethiopians. Why did three ancient civilizations build monumental pyramids? Okay, build monumental pyramids. And so what we talking about? We talking about monoliths. If we get into monoliths, most definitely, you talking about, crazy heavy work. You know what I'm saying? And Egypt is the only civilization that did that kind of work, for over 3,000 consecutive years. When you start talking megalithic, the only thing megalithic in the Americas for real is the Olmec heads. Largest stone megalith structures, monoliths from one damn piece of stone. You know what I'm saying? In the whole of the Americas, they might have had one or two couple of pieces. You know what I'm saying? It was a couple of other pieces down in Peru. Peru got some megalithic, so you got the old Mac. We talking about in Central, just say North America. North America, probably the Olmec heads is probably about the heaviest you gonna get. Let me get back over here so I can pop in. There I go. Okay. But but when you look at most definitely when you talk about even the development of the pyramid, you know, it most definitely started with the master. And matter of fact, I'm on the old man. I gotta get that out of there. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay, here we go. Nah, let me pop up here. I'm just working out right now. Nah, this isn't at Abydos. El Cobb. El Cobb, which is a cemetery. This is the cemetery where the earliest kings of Egypt were buried. You can't find this nowhere else. Man, this you got kings and queens on this buried at over 3,000 BC. You talking about 5,000 years, over 5,000 years ago. And what's crazy is that the tombs is still there. Look at these tombs, man. You know? Now I believe this is the brother I think it's Jeer. Jeer. And so I think if I'm not mistaken, let me see which one that is. Cause all of them got a long I have to give which one this is because all of them got long rows like that. But you got to understand that each one of these chambers was filled with something like, vases and furniture and all of this. I mean, you know how much, you know how rich the earliest kings of Egypt was? They was already filthy rich. Do you know what kind of tomb, to fill up all of them damn tombs? Shit. I mean, tomb but rooms. You see? So, this is one of the earth. So the thing is, when you go to most civilizations, how it sound out there, y'all? How it sound out there? That's all right. Let me know if the mic sound nice. Okay, cool. Good. So I'm gonna work. Let me work. So again, these is the early, but the thing is, see, the master is no longer over. See, this is tomb UJ. Okay, this is the tomb UJ. So on the map, let me see if I can find it. Okay, there you. That's it right there. That's it right there. Del UJ. So let me come back down here. You know, so you could imagine, you could see some of the like vases over there. So it could be all type of furniture. I mean, these is the first king. Most when you go to most civilizations, they earliest kings is like mythological. You're not gonna find no tombs of any. Let me see. Let me ask the have there ever been any monumental tombs found of the Sumerians such as they find in Egypt? And see right there, it say, well, they found some, but it says, yes, Sumerians did construct substantial elite and royal tombs, but nothing yet discovered in Sumer is comparable in scale to Egypt's largest monumental royal tombs, particularly the Old Kingdom. So, they ain't on no. So when let me see. What dynasty is the earliest tomb that was found in Sumeria? So you look, they talking about the famous royal cemetery of Ur dates to the earliest dynastic 3 period, roughly 26 to 24 BC. So you talking about already. This right here is more than you talking about almost 5 and 600 years. You talking about 5 and 600 years already. The Egyptian tomb, these tombs are older and much richer. Look at this. Imagine, filling all these this is jeers. And so I could tell you, that's the one that's probably, look at this. You talking about the third king of Egypt. Imagine all these rooms filled up with all type of, you know, you know, furniture, jewelry. Ugh, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because some of these kings probably had more than some of the latter kings. These kings were filthy rich, man. And what's crazy, they found some of the earliest uh uh writings in these tombs. Matter of fact, in Jir's tomb. So you can see right here that and they had even more advanced writing than that. You know. Now what's crazy, and I'm gonna tap back into the pyramid. You see this structure by Casa Kimwe. Casa Kimwe was like the first king of the second dynasty. Matter of fact, I'm gonna back that up. Casa Kimwe ruled in what dynasty of Egypt? Second dynasty. Okay, he was at the end. No, it wasn't at the end. Yes, he was. He was probably the last king of the second dynasty. So he was the last king of the second dynasty. And so this right here, look at this, man. If I showed you how big this thing is, you see, this is in the second dynasty. Okay, look at the damn stone. I don't think it might be a little stone, but this is mud work. This is mud brick. Look how big this thing is, man. In the second dynasty, this shit is amazing to me. Look at this. This is in the second dynasty. This is older than the pyramids. Okay, You can't show me none. This is 2700 BC already. You can come. Yeah, you got a few things here and there, but when it come pound for pound, Egypt just full of so much. It's just ridiculous. So this is over in India. In India, even though they try to profess, and India got some mind-boggling damn works. I ain't gonna lie. Outside of Egypt, Nubia, India is like right there, man. Real talk. Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, and India is right, them four right there. When it comes to just mind-blowing megalithic, you talking about in stone, you know, I want you to show up. Don't keep telling me, you here and you really ain't got nothing to show up with. You know what I'm saying? What's coming out to Americas most definitely is much later, and it's not on megalithic stone. Do you know this damn the top of this temple right here? Do you know that piece weighs something like close to 100 fucking tons? Man, that piece up there weigh like 80 fucking tons. How the hell they get that damn thing up there? You know what I'm saying? Ain't got no crane to put that motherfucker up there. You know what I'm saying? So they had to have some advanced technology. You see, this is where India, Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, India, this is where they leave all other civilizations behind because of the heavy consistently. Now you got areas all around the world where they got some megalithic structures, but it's not thousands of years consistently. You see, you got a stone work over here, stone, but these nations got megalithic, monolithic structures for thousands of years consistently. That means they never lost the skill. You see what I'm saying? They manifested the skill over and over and over for thousands of years. Sumeria never reached that level. They never built with stone. That what you looking at right there, Saddam Hussein put that there. They built around these things right here. You see, that's not the original. Yeah, they built around that to give you, and much of these pyramids down in the Americas, I mean, you had grass growing out of it because you got to understand some of it got a mound up under it. Okay. Some of it got some dirt and some, up under it. And so, of course, if you ain't taking care of it, the grass will start. This one was full of grass, and I can show you that. You know what I'm saying? Full of grass. Matter of fact, and a lot of this one, I believe this one had a lot of grass that grew over this one, you know. And so, yeah, they had to come and clean it up and get it together. Done, yeah, the sand did cover, some of the pyramid, but you didn't have these are self-sustaining structures. Ain't no mound up under there, ain't no dirt up under there, it's self-sustaining. And what's crazy, man, I had put something, is that thing up there, man? Where did I put that? About how long the pyramids, man, had been on the planet, or how long it stood as the number one, the tallest structure on the planet for so damn long. I don't know where I put that at. It should have been right up in here, but it's not here. It's not here. I don't know where I put that at. See, this is another Sumerian right there. That's another Sumerian, and you can see right there they built up, but that's the ziggurat. See, so you're not gonna tell me Sumeria when you look at all the ziggurats they built with mud brick. They never reached the level of ancient Egypt, Nubia, Aksum, Ethiopia, India. They never reached that level. Now look at this right here. And I'm just talking, and this is This is Nefersobek. Nefersobek was the daughter of Amenemhat, who was a pharaoh in the 12th dynasty of Egypt. This this temple is out in the middle of the desert. You see, look at them stones on there, man. And they what you call polygonal stones, meaning they be all different type of geometric shapes and shit. But they be fitting them in there together like that. And you can see this style all over the world. Some of them stones on that small little temple way out in the middle of the desert, some of them stones is easily 50, 60, uh 60 tons. You see what I'm saying? So this is one when they get to talking about megalithic temples in Egypt, man, this temple come up. This temple come up as even one of the even though it's small, is holding some heavy weight. And again, that polygonal rock cut is all over the world where the Ethiopians went, even into Peru, into a lot of places that, and you can see that this is something that was learned in the Nile Valley, and they took it all over the world. You're not gonna learn this shit right here in no damn man. It takes thousands of years to get this shit. This ain't nothing that could just be independent. That's just like skyscrapers. Nigga, you ain't just gonna up and see no motherfucker skyscraper just independently pop up all over the. If you study the development of the modern skyscraper, you can see where it developed in America and then it moved to other places on the planet. But the design that they using today, not the ancient skyscrapers, but the modern skyscrapers, was learned in America, and it was taken from those that came and got education in America. That's who learned how. And most of the early skyscrapers in Asia and South America was designed by American fucking architects in architectural firms. A lot of people don't know that the architectural firm that built the Burj Khalifa was from Chicago. Come on, man. You ain't just gonna up and do nothing on no megalithic scale like that. Cause it take too many sciences. It take more than just, I mean, you got to have the tools, but and you got to know how to move it. That alone is a skill unto itself to be able to move megalithic stone. These peoples is in the middle of the damn desert. So the technology that they used to move them damn Olmec heads was the same technology that the Egyptians was using to move stone. You know what I'm saying? You can't just put your back into it. You're gonna break a whole lot of backs like that. You're gonna need some motherfucking you're gonna need some mechanics to move shit like that. And so when you start talking about, pyramids and all of that, and you see them all over the world because the Nile Valley was it was the center of the world. That's just what it is. And this right here in India is just fucking crazy. This is like, one of the most mind-boggling uh you know, this is from one stone. This is what you call monolith. That mean mono mean that they carved it down from the rock. They didn't lay no stones. And so you know how masterful that is to be able to. In Egypt, they got some, Abu Simbel, the Valley of the Kings was built this same way where they cut directly into the rock. So ain't nowhere on the planet that was even using that. But Lalabella, the technology of Egypt and Sudan. These is the only nations that mastered cutting into mountains like that. You see, on a megalithic scale like this. You don't find that nowhere else on the planet. This was the most advanced area Wait a minute, let me get to that map. Did I did I even drop it in over here? I might didn't. Well, I most definitely need to. I most definitely need to drop that map in over here. It need to be over here too. It probably is. It's probably further down. But I'm a where's that map at? There you go. Right there. Let me put it in here. Let me put it in here. Let me put it in here closer to this. Okay, let me drop that in. Let me drop that in right there. Well, I don't want that one. Let me drop this one in right here. So when you start looking at the most advanced civilizations, I mean, I mean, when you look at proximity, man, you can't make this shit up. You got Ethiopia. We talking about with megalithic. That means you've been doing this shit forever. You're not gonna reach this level, without, and you could tell in the same I think they call it Colossus Temple here. When you look at that technology, and then when you come and you look at the I think it's Ethiopia. Let me see if I got that one from Ethiopia, and then I'm gonna mash out and come back. I'm up tonight. I got to work. Where's Ethiopia at? I think it's up in here somewhere. I think I put it up in here somewhere. Because that's still part of the Nile Valley. It should have been right up in here. I don't even see it. I might have put it further down, but I don't see why I don't see it. Okay. I'm most definitely gonna have to tighten that up because it should be here. It should be here. Hold on. Okay, well, I'll find it. I'll find it. I hate when I want to show something and I can't damn find it. It most definitely should have been with the Ethiopian. Okay, they'll Taharka, they'll Pianki. Okay, okay. All right, that's all right. I'll find it the next time. I'll find it when I take a break. Here you go. I found it. I found it right here. See, that's the same technology from ancient Egypt, with the Indian, and you don't find that, you know what I'm saying, all over the place. Where you can cut into the damn mountain, you don't use rock, you don't use bricks. Do you see what I'm saying? You don't use brick. And so that's the same technology that you find in India. Matter of fact, and vice versa. And vice versa. Let me bring it back down. And matter of fact, look at that right there. And then I'm gonna tap out. Where is that at? I just seen that brother on cutting that stone. I roll right past it. That's all right. If I Dale Colossus. Where is that at? That's one on. Hold on, fam. There you go. Right there. So you see right there. Let me put that in there. They cut both of them cut from out of the mountain bed. You see, they both cut down, and then the crazy shit about it, they had to remove all of that stone that they cut. They had to clean that out of there. You feel me? And what my understanding, this is some hard shit right here. This is hard rock. You know, this is a little softer and shit. I'm gonna just say what it is. This over here is like hard as granite, you know. So this is most definitely, man. You was dealing with technologies on this side of the planet, dealing with these Ethiopian, these Kushites, Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, India, and then you can go into Angkor Wat, you can go into Champa, man, you got Burma, Bagan, all these areas over. And then once you go up under Egypt, you got you got Constantinople, you got Greece, you got Rome. Everything is in proximity that still got evidence. That got evidence. Okay, I'm not talking about no damn moms. Yeah, I ain't talking about no. Yeah, Alora, Colossus Cave. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, most definitely. But anyway, family, I appreciate y'all. Y'all staying up with the general. I ain't done yet. I think I'm gonna do one or two more. If y'all up and y'all want to build, you understand. You most definitely in an elite class. So come back, family. Black Power.